Hello, wrestling fans. Joe Wheeler here, welcoming you to another action-packed edition of the Southern States Wrestling Power Half Hour. Fans, we got three tremendous matches in store for you in today's program. You're going to be seeing some new faces, some international superstars. Information will be coming up on the Fall Spectacular coming up for us real soon here in Southern States Wrestling. Let's get down to ringside and get the action underway.
All right, folks, we're off and running right here on the Southern States Wrestling Power Half Hour. Michael Sutherland here along with Joe Wheeler. And Joe, we've got a great card lined up for all the great fans right here on Saturday afternoon watching all across the Mountain Empire on the CW4. And hey, if you're watching on Facebook from Blip TV, thank you so much. And we know we got fans watching all around the world watching our internet show. So we've got the Tennessee champion, Scott Sterling, out here against Alex Averinos. And this is for the Tennessee Championship. James McHone out here on the outside, Joe. Got to believe he's going to play a factor in here. And if I was this young gentleman here from New Jersey, I'd certainly keep my eyes crossed and right after James McHone.
No doubt about that, Michael Sutherland, as Alex Averinos, a newcomer here to Southern States Wrestling. But I have seen this young man in other places and other promotions, and he's a tremendous young up-and-coming wrestler, and that's part of why we're taking a look at him here in Southern States Wrestling. In there was Sterling, and caught us, man, right there. Beautifully executed high hip toss there by Averinos, as Scott Sterling is already seeking the consultations, if you will, of big business James McHone, and I'm sure McHone wants to win a little more money off Sterling tonight.
Well, there's no doubt about that, but I can tell you this much right now, this young gentleman over here on the other side of Scott Sterling certainly has got his sights set on a victory over Sterling, and I guarantee if he does that, he's going to be able to maybe garner himself some more matches right here on the Power Half Hour and seen all across the world from prospective promoters from all parts of the country. So, but you got to believe Scott Sterling got it in his mind. Bo James is coming up later on for Scott Sterling for that Southern States Heavyweight Championship. Here in a few weeks, we're going to see that right here on the Power Half Hour. Maybe some highlights of that match, and it's unreal what James McHone has put Scott Sterling through as far as training. Now, you can look at James McHone and see that he doesn't do a lot of training, but Scott Sterling certainly does. He's in the gym working out all the time and honing in on those skills because he wants to bring the SSW Heavyweight Championship back home to the big business army.
Oh, no doubt about that. It's been a huge loss, tremendous deficit for McHone and his army not to have that heavyweight championship in their stable as they have for so long now. As Sterling here clubbing this young man, but Alex got out of there, caught his man, beautifully executed arm drag takedown right there. This young man comes in with tremendous credentials, and we're seeing why right here. Great fundamental sound wrestling as he's got Scott Sterling down now in an arm bar position. Sterling's making his way back up to a vertical base. Averinos is holding on. Sterling now takes his man over, arm drag, but Alex held on once again there. Great tenacity from this young man, Michael Sutherland. I think he's got a bright future in this sport.
Oh, absolutely. You can tell. Look at him. I mean, he looks great inside that squared circle, and he's got Scott Sterling down on the canvas. Sterling has been the Tennessee champion for a number of months, and he has fended off challengers from all across the country, not just here in the Mountain Empire. So, you know, Scott Sterling, a very accomplished veteran, but this young gentleman right here has certainly taken him to town, so to speak. Now, here in just a little bit, we're going to see Eric Darkstorm in action. Plus, we're going to see the return of the T-Rex Express, the Niagara Tag Team Champions, as they're going to be going after the Southern States Tag Team Championships. That's all right here in this half hour of Southern States Wrestling, Joe.
The most action-packed 30 minutes on television today, right here. You got it, Southern States Wrestling. We're glad you're tuned in, turned on, and checking out the action. Hard-hitting professional wrestling right there at its very finest. Scott Sterling opening up now on this young man, but this guy he's just bouncing right back up, taking more punishment. You got to give it to the young man. He knows this is a big match in his career right here on television with Southern States Wrestling, challenging for the Tennessee title, and he is going to fight with everything he can. And Sterling now is just opening up an assault here, a series of hard right hands, and now McHone in there choking him and laying forearms in as well, as they realize that this kid is not a pushover by any means. They've got a serious contender in here.
Well, anytime you step inside the squared circle, you've got to believe that you can see your championship leaving your grasp, especially if you underestimate your opponent. Now, I don't think that Scott Sterling has ever stepped in the ring with Alex Averinos ever, and that could prove to be a downfall for him because he's not scouted him out as far as I know, because I heard James McHone in the back saying, hey, We ain't going to worry about this guy. He's not our problem right now. Bo James is in our sight. So that tells me that he has overlooked this young guy. Quite possibly Scott Sterling's shoulder's going to go down. 1, 2, 3.
Well, that's a tremendous mistake if they have underestimated Alex Averinos, because he is a tremendous young competitor, as he's showing already in this matchup here. Sterling now, raking and digging at the eyes and facial features of Averinos, as he knows he's in the ring with a veteran that'll fight and do anything necessary. And McHone now with a slap to the face of Averinos as well. You know, these guys, they know they've got a young lion in here tonight, and they've got a fight on their hands.
Well, it's a shame that Averinos has got to put up with James McHone on the outside, as he took a couple of paintbrushes across the face there. And it's unfortunate for him because, you know, I spoke to him very briefly in the back, and he said, hey, this is an honor for me to be on the Southern States Wrestling Power Half Hour, and especially in the ring against the Tennessee champion. But James McHone not allowing him to shine, not giving him his moment to shine, because he's out here slapping him around, putting that Tennessee championship right in his face, saying, hey, right here's something you're not going to get, because it's going to stay around the waist of my man. And as you can see right here, Averinos now was able to break that, but he caught a knee right to the midsection, and just a wily veteran there with Scott Sterling.
Absolutely right. That veteran experience pays off oftentimes against these young rookies, as sometimes that little bit slower, a little bit more methodical pace can often pay off for you in the long run. And again, McHone making himself known in this matchup, interfering in the matchup, as he always does, is so unnecessary. You know, I don't think he can help himself. He's at ringside. He's got to stick his nose in there. Averinos right there rolls out of the way, and now's his time to shine. This is his opportunity right here. Caught his man. He went back to the fundamentals right there with a deep arm drag takeover, as Averinos brings him up. As Sterling, again, that veteran experience, uses the thumb to the eye, Michael.
Well, he caught Scott Sterling with an arm drag there. It certainly didn't look pretty right here on our monitors, but nonetheless, he got him over, and that irritated Scott Sterling, because he says, hey, you can't do that to me. Thumbed him right down, and he just caught him with a swinging neck breaker there, and that could be all she wrote for Averinos here. 1, 2, 3, and it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the contest, and still your Tennessee champion, Scott Sterling. You just saw him in action, your Tennessee heavyweight champion, Scott Sterling of the Big Business Army. James McHone, I know you got a lot to say as usual.
I don't have as much to say as usual, because I'm still in a great deal of pain. Shut your mouth. Because of Bo James, I've been nearly unable to speak for the last few weeks. Do you understand what it's like being around me without getting to hear my genius? Oh, God. But Scott Sterling is the Tennessee champion. He's going to stay the Tennessee champion. And Bo James, you do whatever you want. Frank Parker is coming back. He's getting his mind right. He's getting mad enough and mean enough. And God help all of Southern States Wrestling when he comes back.
Scott, you got anything to add to this?
Held the belt for a year. Getting tired of holding this belt. Bo James, I'm coming after yours.
There you have it from your current Tennessee champion and the Big Business Army.
Hello everybody, it's your old friend here, Handsome Bo James. Some people like to call me the King of Kingsport, and I'm here to tell you, it's finally here. Do you want to be a wrestler, kid? My first full-length book, 348 pages, never publicly told stories, rare photos, a history lesson of pro wrestling in East Tennessee. How I got my career started as a promoter at the age of 14 years old. How my in-ring career started at 15 years old. Stories of being so blessed and getting to work and compete with people like the Russian Bear Ivan Koloff, the Mongolian Stomper, Izzy Slapowitz, Nature Boy Buddy Landell, Jimmy the Boogie Woogie Man Valiant, Ricky Morton, and a whole lot more. Let's not forget about those practical jokes that wrestlers like to pull on one another, a whole chapter dedicated to that. Tributes to many of my fallen Heroes turned friends like Wahoo McDaniel, Road Warrior Hawk, Sherry Martell, Billy Joe Travis, Moondog Spot, and a whole lot more. Buy your copy today, kingofkingsport.com. Each book comes with signed pictures of not only myself, but my beautiful wife, Misty James, and a DVD with never-before-seen matches, interviews, and special insight from me that follows the book. Do you want to be a wrestler, kid? Available now, kingofkingsport.com.
Wrestling fans, Joe Wheeler here in the locker room area with one of the great young up-and-coming tag teams in Southern States Wrestling, Lucas Angel and DeAndre Jackson. You guys have been taking on all challengers. I know y'all are focused on trying to capture some gold here in Southern States Wrestling.
Gold! Yes, exactly. Southern States Wrestling Gold. And yes, we are the new hotness, the new up-and-comers here in Southern States Wrestling. We may have had a stumble in the tag team tournament against the Death Riders, but rest assured, we've been training, we've been studying, we've been in deep training. Lots and lots of drills, lots of weight time, cardio. We've been doing it all to get to the top for those SSW tag team titles. I respect Stephen Ray. I respect you a whole lot, but rest assured, we want what you got. And hopefully one day we will get the chance at those titles. And then you'll be looking at Lucas Angel and the man of 1,004 monikers, DeAndre Jackson, as your new SSW Tag Team Champions.
There you have it, wrestling fans. Be on the lookout for these guys coming to a town near you.
You look good, man.
Thank you.
All right, folks, we're taking a look at Eric Darkstorm right here on this edition of the Power Half Hour in the ring against another newcomer to the area in Robbie Reckless. So this should be an outstanding contest here. We've heard some words from Eric Darkstorm over the last couple of weeks here on the Power Half Hour. Says, hey, I've got Kyle Matthews in my sight. I don't really know that I want to get back in the ring with him and waste my time. But nonetheless, that match has been signed, and folks, you're going to see that right here on the Power Half Hour in the weeks to come. So make sure you stay tuned and find out about that coming up here a little bit later on. Also, don't forget to stay tuned to the Power Half Hour because you're going to find out about some live events that's going to be coming around the Mountain Empire and all around East Tennessee, where you can see some of the great stars of the SSW Power Half Hour live in your area. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Eric Darkstorm brings in a very impressive resume. He's held championships all across the country. He's been looked at from talent scouts from every major promotion, and he's right here on the Power Half Hour for your viewing pleasure in the ring against Robbie Reckless. And Reckless, a little bit smaller in stature than Eric Darkstorm is, but don't think that makes any difference in a contest like this because each one of them pretty much balance each other out on the quickness, that's for sure.
Absolutely right. Michael Sutherland, good points as always here as Eric Darkstorm dropping down right there. Robbie Reckless up and over his man. Oh, big shoulder block there by Robbie Reckless as Darkstorm here. Maybe a little look of frustration perhaps on his face as perhaps he wasn't expecting that from Robbie Reckless. But they're squared off once again. Oh, went for a collar and elbow, but Darkstorm now roughhousing a little bit in there. Caught his man with a knee, followed up with a big forearm smash, and now a hard chop over in the corner as Darkstorm controlling his man tight into the top turnbuckle there. Oh, and laying him in. Laying in some knife-edge chops, Michael Sutherland. These guys are, they've come to fight tonight. Oh, Reckless right there. Good thing he ducked under that first one because then it took his head off if he hadn't. And Reckless now returning fire with some of those chops of his own as Reckless now went for an Irish whip. Darkstorm reverses and caught his man right there, about took his head off, Mike Sutherland.
Absolutely, he took him down with a devastating maneuver right there and only garnered a 2 count. But Reckless maybe have a little bit more in the tank than Darkstorm thinks. But nonetheless, he's got him down on the canvas in a reverse chin lock there. And, he rolled out of that very quickly. Got that arm barred up behind the back and putting some pressure on that elbow and maybe the wrist a little bit. You say they was trading chops back and forth. Got a fireman's carry there and took him straight down. Got him in an arm bar. Trading chops back and forth. And like I said, the speed factor I think is going to be about the same. Darkstorm has got a little bit of a height and weight advantage over Reckless. But I don't know that that's going to factor in and play any type of a part in this match because both these guys are gung-ho about a victory right here on the Power Half Hour. Slipped out of that, and man, they're just doing some chain wrestling. It is back and forth and almost hard for us to call right here at the broadcast desk at the Mount Carmel Armed Forces Center. Folks, anytime you see Southern States Wrestling on the marquee, make sure you get out to the live events because you're going to have a great family-oriented event to take everybody to. And make sure you check us out on Facebook, Joe Wheeler. I know you're on there. I am too. Southern States Wrestling. Type it in the search engine. Click our like button. You're going to get all of our feeds and statuses. Find out about some late breaking news in the world of SSW. Sometimes maybe before we do.
Yeah. Well, that's the truth there is things are always happening fast and furious in Southern States Wrestling as they are in the ring in this contest here. And Facebook, man, it's a great way to keep in touch with us, no doubt about it. Plus, you can watch the Power Half Hour on there anytime, day or night, 24/7, whenever you feel like it. Plus, you can archive and go back and watch previous episodes of some of the tremendous action and the legends that comes through Southern States Wrestling. And I have a great time sometimes just going back and watching some of the previous episodes, some of the tremendous matches that we have had here in Southern States Wrestling over the 20-plus years. As Robbie right there went up and over his man, got Darkstorm down, rolled him over, got a 2 count right there. Referee Mark Foley checking in. And Darkstorm, a head of steam right there, just took his head off practically with that clothesline. In for a cover and got a 2 count only, but Darkstorm right back on his man, Mike Sutherland.
Good Lord, that clothesline, as you said, was devastating, and you could have dislocated some vertebrae if you can do that back there because, man, he took him straight down. It was, wow, high impact, that's for sure. And he's working on that neck. Darkstorm certainly got his man exactly where he wants him. Folks, coming up here in just a little bit, we're going to see the SSW Tag Team Championships defended as Ray Idle and Steve Flynn put the belts on the line against the Niagara Tag Team Champions in the T-Rex Express. So it should be something to behold.
Robbie Ray's coming across right there, got caught recklessly coming in that corner. Oh, but man, he got that drop kick up right on the button there. Eric Darkstorm is in trouble, and Reckless again with a well-placed drop kick. Referee's in and got a 2 count only on it once again. But Robbie Reckless right there showed a couple of great drop kicks, but walked right into that corner. Eric Darkstorm took that momentum, dropped him right into that second rope. Takes his man, Irish whip across now. Darkstorm coming in. Oh, and caught him with a Sabat-style martial arts kick. Rolls him up, and he got him.
Put him down for the 1-2-3. Impressive victory from Eric Darkstorm.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's your winner, Eric Darkstorm.
With the economy changing almost daily and not always for the best, let Hassie'sKitchenTable.com keep your food budget under control. Leave the work up to us as we find inexpensive recipes, cooking, and shopping tips. You will soon have all the tips, ideas, recipes you need to feed your family well on a budget and have fun while doing it.
Hello, wrestling fans. Joe Wheeler here for Southern States Wrestling with one of the most notorious and most well-won tag teams here in Southern States Wrestling history, the Death Riders. Crunch, I know you guys are focused on those tag team belts once again. Ray Idle, Steve Flynn are holding them.
That's right. They're holding them, but let me tell you one thing, Joe Wheeler. They are not a legit tag team. Somebody just threw these two guys together, and now they got the titles. Myself and Chick White has been together for how many years?
20-plus years.
All right. We know what we're doing, and everywhere we see them at, we're going to make them take notice that we're after those belts. They're going to give us a shot at them title belts, or we just going to keep pounding them and running them down until they do.
You guys have definitely held tag team gold before in Southern States Wrestling. Chick, I know you want those belts back.
Oh, yeah, they're my belts, or our belts. They've been our belts for years. And all I got to say, Steve, Ray, we're coming, and we're coming after them.
One more thing, Joe. I want Mac Murray or Big Al Bass, whoever the commissioners is here, they're gonna get us a title match, and I want you to see what you can do about it.
I'll certainly have a talk with them.
We don't never get to talk to them.
Well, yeah.
They always ignore us.
Well, given your guys' credentials and the number of times you've held the titles before, I'm sure, I'll be happy to pass that along to them. Hey, the Death Riders, they're looking for those tag team belts, and they want them back.
Main event time right here on the SSW Power Half Hour. The Southern States Wrestling Tag Team Championships on the line here as Steve Flynn and Ray Idle putting those belts up for grabs against the Niagara Tag Team Champions in the T-Rex Express. You've got Troy Buchanan on the outside. You've got Rex Atkins on the inside, and this should be a phenomenal contest. We are no strangers to the T-Rex Express, as they were down in this area a couple of years ago and put on an impressive showing for the fans of the Mountain Empire. And since they are tag team champions in another promotion, hey, they got a title shot right here on the Power Half Hour. Ray Idle, Steve Flynn says, this is no problem. We're fighting champions. We're going to put our belts on the line, bring on whoever, and they were the first ones to jump on that open contract for this edition of the Power Half Hour. So I'm excited to see these two teams in action, Joe.
Should be a tremendous tag matchup, no doubt about that, as you're absolutely right. The Niagara Tag Team Champions here, the T-Rex Express, are in the ring, in the house. Mount Carmel, Tennessee, challenging Southern States Wrestling Tag Team Champions, as we've got a Greco-Roman knuckle lock test of strength here, which, not a good idea to do, Mr. Troy Buchanan, against the powerhouse Ray Idle, as Idle now catches his man with a big hip toss takeover right there, brings him right up into a full body slam, as the powerhouse Ray Idle showing exactly why he is known as the powerhouse. Him and Steve Flynn make a tremendous team. The power, the strength of Ray Idle, the tenacity and bulldog badgerness of Steve Flynn, as he is absolutely double tough and will just rip your arm off given an opportunity, because he gets in there and wrestles, no doubt about that. As Buchanan now, looking for a way out, but that didn't work for him. Ray Idle's got him pinned down on the canvas here. Idle catches his man with a big leg drop right there, about 260 pounds, right out of Bristol, coming to you with Ray Idle. Makes the tag. Here comes Steve Flynn with a big kick right to the arm, as Steve Flynn going right into work. And Michael Sutherland, as you and I both well know, Steve Flynn, double tough veteran in there.
Oh, good Lord, is he? You know, he's battled Scott Sterling for that Tennessee Heavyweight Championship on a couple of non-televised events, and came up a little bit short, but he was able to hang on to those tag team championships. He and Ray Idle, again, have defended those tag team belts on some non-title events. Big drop kick there sends Rex Atkins down to the canvas. Steve Flynn now going to send him in. Irish whip into the corner, goes in, caught him with a big clothesline. You know, Steve Flynn, Ray Idle was able to oust several teams in that tag team championship tournament just a little while ago, and they put some heavy-duty tag teams down. And we got a drop toe hold here, tag into Ray Idle, and he caught him with an elbow to the back. Hey, Troy Buchanan, he's got to get in, and yes, he does. And he just nailed his tag team partner with an elbow, Joe. That didn't work out too well at all.
Yeah, that didn't work out too well for the T-Rex Express. They met in a bad way right there, as Rex Atkins in the ring right now representing his team. Tag's been made. Steve Flynn with a big elbow drop, if you will, on the arm of Rex, as Troy Buchanan got involved right there. But, that messed up Steve Flynn long enough to get caught by a big clothesline right there, and got a 2 count out of that situation, as the T-Rex Express definitely had their signals straight on that one, as they've got Steve Flynn in trouble. The tag's been made. Here comes Troy Buchanan into the ring and drops down with both legs right across the small of the back of Steve Flynn, dropping all of his weight right across those lower lumbar, and now with a chokehold right in front of the referee, Jake Booth, who's going to break that up real fast. Buchanan takes his man front face lock position, back into the corner. Irish whip. And what intensity on that whip there. Buchanan put all of his body weight behind it. Flynn trying to crawl across. Now, what kind of tag is this? Michael Sutherland, I don't even know if that's legal.
Well, Jake Booth's going to allow it for the simple fact that he knows the importance of this tag team championship right here. Rex Atkins now has got Steve Flynn wrapped up with a reverse chin lock here. You can see the Niagara Tag Team Champions, the T-Rex Express, working extremely hard here and trying to take those SSW Tag Team Championships away from Ray Idle and Steve Flynn. And we're going to see what happens as this match transpires. Folks, this is your main event right here on the Power Half Hour. We're about 5 minutes into the action, and time is waning fast here on the program. So if we're not able to show the outcome of this contest, you better believe our tape machines are going to be rolling. We'll show it next week, so you're not going to miss a minute of the action, folks. We're going to try to get something settled right here. 1-2 and only a 2 count as Steve Flynn desperately needs to make a tag to Ray Idle.
No doubt about that, Michael Sutherland. And fans, that's why we tell you all the time, you got to come and see the matches live. We appreciate everybody watching on television. We really do. No doubt about that. But in order to catch all of the action, feel all of the excitement, sense all of the energy that we bring when we come to a town near you, you got to come see an event live, because there's nothing like it. You don't have to worry about commercial breaks in. You don't have to worry about television time expiring. You get the whole enchilada and all the fun and excitement of Southern States Wrestling. As Buchanan caught Steve Flynn with a boot right to the face right there. Rolls this man over, got a cover, and got a 2 count only on that one, as Flynn was able to get that shoulder up. Referee Jake Booth right on top of the action as always here in Southern States Wrestling. Buchanan makes the exchange now. His partner Rex Atkins making his way into the ring, as Atkins going right into work on Steve Flynn. Got him in a reverse chin lock position here as he's holding on to him. As Steve Flynn and definitely in trouble here, as Atkins now continuing to apply that pressure, clamping down on Steve Flynn.
If Steve Flynn doesn't get over there and make a tag to Ray Idle, we're going to see new SSW Tag Team Champions crowned right here on the Power Half Hour, because the T-Rex Express has taken the Tag Team Champions to town right here, so to speak. And Steve Flynn, every once in a while, he's able to get a... Well, he made the tag here in the Powerhouse Ray Idle. We got a tag over here on the other side, and a big fist right to the side, and one more time. And look at this, Ray Idle, Fists of Fire, Bristol, Tennessee native, the Powerhouse, man, he is really... And, well, we've got all 4 in the ring here. Jake Booth, he's saying, hey, I've got to get some type of order restored here. Scoops him up, and we've got a big power slam, and we've got a cover here. Jake Booth, 1, 2, and 3. We've got tag team champions going to keep their belts.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winners, and still Southern States Wrestling Tag Team Champions, Ray Idle and Steve Flynn.
We've got the Death Riders here of Chick White and the Equalizer Crunch coming in. They were defeated by the team of Steve Flynn and Ray Idle in that Tag Team Championship tournament a few weeks ago. And I guess they've got some business to take care of here. You got to believe they've still a little bit sore, so to speak, at that loss they suffered in the tournament.
No doubt about that. The Death Riders have come for revenge, and they want revenge, no doubt about that. But it looks like they're going to choose it another day, as Ray Idle, Steve Flynn are still your champions. Wrestling fans, Joe Wheeler here in the locker room area with our current Southern States Wrestling Tag Team Champions, Ray Idle and Steve Flynn. You guys have turned back a couple of very good challengers so far for those tag team titles, but the Death Riders have got a bullseye on you guys. They are focused on you too.
First thing, let me give some credit where credit's due. T-Rex Express come down here from New York. They were a good tag team. Death Riders, you want to stick your nose in our business? You ain't got to come fight and jump on us from behind. If you want a shot, all you got to do is ask. We'll give it to you. Tell them, Ray.
You know, Joe Wheeler, the marquee says wrestling, but it seems like for some reason these guys wants to jump us from behind every time that they can see us. As Steve said, we're not too hard to find. Actually, we're pretty easy to find, and we have the gold. If they want it, just come and get it.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Your tag team champions, they're ready for any challenge coming their way.